It has to stop. But anyway, gentlemen, we need to move straight to our next conversation. Now, in a fast-moving and a fast-changing world, constantly building capacity is sine qua non to success. To address emerging security challenges through adequate training of personnel, the Nigerian Army has relocated the Special Forces School from Buniyadi in Yobe State to Doma in Nasarawa State. At the commissioning of the complex, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, said the school will serve as a vital training hub for the Army's specialized operations. General Oluyede stressed that the relocation of the school is aimed at effective training of special forces. Now let's hear from the Army Chief.
I have the singular honor and privilege this morning to commission this edifice, that is the headquarters of 4 Special Forces Command of the Nigerian Army. Well, to the glory of God, and especially for use by our officers and soldiers for the betterment of the Nigerian Army. The relocation of the school from Buniyadi in Yobe State to Doma is actually aimed at providing a much ideal environment for the training of our special forces in the requisite skills and competencies needed for the peculiar nature of their missions. Since my assumption of office, it has been my resolve to provide our special forces with the highest quality training to enable them to compete favorably with special forces anywhere in the world. It is envisioned that the training that will be provided here will guarantee this, while also preparing our warriors for today's dynamic and evolving threat landscape. At this juncture, it is pertinent to state that we're not here today just to lay foundations. We're also laying the groundwork for a legacy of excellence, bravery, and sacrifice. We're investing in the future of our special forces, and by extension, the security and prosperity of our dear nation, Nigeria. To this end, the entire construction process of this school must be meticulously carried out in line with global best practices. To our elite special forces, my indomitable warriors operating all over the country, remember that you are the unconquerable, and thus nothing should stand in your path to victory. Nothing should deter you from doing your duty, and nothing should shake your will to fight. The only time you take to rest is when the job is done. On my part, I pledge to provide all you need in terms of training and equipment for you to achieve victory, and we owe it to Nigerians to be victorious in all our engagements. I wish to thank the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, for his continued strategic guidance and unwavering support to our cause. Like I said earlier, we're just not here to lay foundations. I can tell you, either by hook or crook, this school will start by next month. I have made provisions for the school to take off, and with that sense of seriousness and responsibility, it is our duty to make this school work. I want to have special forces that when the adversary get to hear that they're coming, they take their leave before they get there. So I'm going to put all the resources, all the time required to ensure that we have a very good school with a good team that will bring out people that we can be proud of. I recall when we were in ECOMOG in the early 90s, when the adversary get to hear that 72 Battalion, Special Forces Battalion is coming anywhere, they take their leave, they run away before we get there. I want that to be the place of the people that will train here. So for you, my soldiers who are Special Forces, we're always proud of what you do. But the essence of this school is to make you more professional, more leather.
I mean, BKO, as beautiful as this is, but I need you to unpack this for us. Why did the Nigerian Army, relocate the Special Forces Training School, to Nasarawa State? And what's the significance of this?
Well, I know that what the Chief of Army Staff has done is to give the Special Forces Training School in Buneyadi a different role. So for now, it will be the acclimatization and pre-induction training camp for troops deployed to the Northeast.
Okay.
So once you are deployed to the Northeast, they first give you a training in Buneyadi, where we used to have the Nigerian Army Special Forces School. So now it's not as if that place is being shut. The facility is not being shut. It's being given a different role now. So because the environment in the Northeast is different. For example, if all your life you've not lived in a community where there are huge mountains, and you go to some parts of the Northeast, and you are seeing mountains, the Mandara Mountains, in Borno State, stretching into Cameroon. There's a kind of culture shock that you feel because you've never been used to that. It's just like sending somebody to the north, to the south. He had never seen creeks in his life. It's not everyone that can operate in such an environment. So what they are trying to do now is to anybody posted to the Northeast Theater of Operation, they first take you to Buneyadi. So yes, where you then get a kind of acclimatization, a kind of pre-induction training that will prepare you for what you are going to see, because it is unconventional warfare that we are talking about, not conventional. The kind of threats that you are going to face in the Northeast, they first introduce you to such threats, so that by the time you are now taken to the main theater of war, you know what to expect. There's no culture shock. There's no fear that can actually make the enemy overrun you easily. So the environment in Doma, in Nasarawa, as far as the Chief of Army Staff is concerned, is more conducive for the kind of training that Special Forces need. Much more conducive than And if it took so long for somebody to discover that, fine. Special Forces in America, the kind of endurance training that they go through, you know that when you encounter them,
nothing can surprise you.
Your nemesis has come, and you're guaranteed of success in their operations.
We need to go on this. We need to go on this quick break. It's still Journalist Hangout. I still have BKO right here and GKB still talking about the Army. Now, the relocation of the Special Forces Training School. You think this move will boost combat readiness?
It must. Because the advantage of having a Special Forces soldier as the Chief of Army Staff is that it's part and parcel of what made the Army tick in several operations in the past. Not only in Liberia, people forget we're also in Sierra
Leone. True.
And even recently we're in Sudan, Kosovo, at least areas where Nigerian soldiers and Nigerian policemen have played roles.
And triumph.
In fact, in some areas, they consider some of our forces the best they've seen. That they only suffer at home because of the environment.
Okay.
But when they go outside, they excel effortlessly, just like every other aspect of our national life. I'm in love with the special forces for 2 reasons.
Okay.
Normally, all over the world, they are what they call the best of the best. You take the best soldiers could get across all areas of the armed forces and take them to special forces. They are the last set expected to deal with the enemy. It's when they only come when the regular departments are no longer were able to solve the problem. They will not call
That's when they come in.
And that to me is fundamental. Because without that, the regular forces would simply give up. But if they know SWAT for the police, Marines for the US,
Marines for the US,
SAS for the UK, every country must have, they do have something like this. And so I'm glad that this is happening. I know that area very well in Nasarawa.
Navy SEALs.
Yeah, Navy SEALs.
Navy
Exactly.
SEAls. That area is, of course, because of the terrain, will solve the problem. Because, like I said, training is fundamental.
Yeah.
You cannot give what you don't have.
True.
And what the Army staff is saying is that elite troops must be prepared for the complexities of unconventional warfare.
True.
One reason we suffered a lot of casualty setbacks in the past was because our troops were not prepared for this kind of warfare.
Yes, asymmetric warfare.
I told someone, I said, when you see a group of Chadian troops moving, maybe about 8 of them, 5 will have rocket-propelled grenades, RPG. They will have the launcher. Because they've been fighting civil war for years. And they know that against this kind of enemy, that is necessary because that kind of enemy uses it.
Exactly.
It's supposed to be a tank buster, but they use it on human beings, all the same. So you too have to be prepared. Our troops were not fond of driving around in gun trucks. It's this kind of warfare that brought it.
Exactly.
We were not, we've been following the army for years. We were not used to driving around in gun trucks. But today, just like the enemy, Nigerian troops too now have to use gun trucks. With their guns mounted, they move around.
And ready for anything.
Yes, because that the environment that they found themselves, that milieu that they found themselves, it is necessary.
Sure.
So I believe that at the Special Forces school, the best training that will bring out a wholesome soldier is what they will get.
Technology-wise,
everything. They have to be fleet-footed. They have to be brave. They have to be resilient. They have to be ready for any kind. Because in the army, they simulate scenarios.
Yeah, exactly.
Even back at NDA, they simulate scenarios for you. So they will properly simulate scenarios that you are going to encounter when you go to war with this kind of undesirable elements. And you know what to expect. You know how to overcome the enemy. So I'm happy, and given what they are doing now, to even expand the capacity of the army to take in recruits, to train recruits.
Yes.
Because we were dependent on army depot in Zaria.
Okay, yeah, Zaria, okay.
The needs of the army clearly outweigh the depot that was set up even in the pre-colonial era. Now they've set up an army depot in Osogbo. Now they are planning to set up another one maybe in the southeast, or somewhere in north central. At the end of the day, we'll be able to bring in more troops. Simultaneously you are training them at different locations, and we'll be able to deal with the threats that our country constantly faces. So kudos to the Chief of Army Staff for these steps that he is taking, because I believe that at the end of the day, will be the better for it.
I mean, just in rounding off this conversation, what will your thoughts be?
Like I said, only an expert can give what he has.
True.
what we are going through is basically reorganizing the army in such a way to face wars that 30 years ago would not be on the cards. 20 years ago, there are some generals now that will not even know exactly how to go about. We are bringing people on board who are training them in such a way to make sure. Because like the Yoruba proverb, you cannot fight a fish on land. You have to go into the
yeah,
water.
exactly.
So you must go. You must have a terrain that reflects the terrain of the enemy. Simply
yeah, you talked about simulation.
You cannot simply be comfortable where you are, and then you don't know exactly what to expect.
Whether whether...
You know that before the Gulf War, the U.S. troops were trained in a part of California. They simulated desert warfare.
Oh, okay.
They simulated desert warfare. So the people already they knew what to expect.
So take us to the desert where
we are going there. They knew they were going. The
orientation was
to be they called it Operation Desert Storm. They were already prepared for desert warfare, and they camouflage everything.
Exactly, blend with it. All right.